Cruz, and I will be presenting in 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. Is that right? I hope I did. And we are going to present this book. You can see. I'm going to pretend I'm talking to all of you. And it is from the 60s, I believe. I found it in the library.
Copyright 1970, I just looked.
1970, there you go. And this is the one I read 2 years ago. And I really loved them. So this is how I met the whole work of him. Because I always, I knew him, but I never really read a whole book, because I know he was a really, really good author, but I never had the opportunity until 2 years ago when I found this book in Yakima Library. And I grabbed it, and I thought it was really good. I had the opportunity to present this book, and this is what I'm doing today. Here, some facts about the author. So, Gabriel José de la Concordia Garcia Marquez, very long name, but that was the name that he got when he was born, was a Colombian novelist, short story writer, screenwriter, and a journalist, known affectionately as Gabo or Gabito, that was his nickname, to Latin America. He was born March 6, 1927 in Aracataca, Colombia, and died April 17, 2014 in Mexico City, Mexico. It is believed that he left Colombia for political issues, and then he established himself in Mexico because he felt that he was safe. His works have been influenced by Julio Cortázar, Pablo Neruda, and Jorge Luis Borges, of my favorites. And awards, Nobel Prize in Literature, and Rómulo Gallegos Prize. Not really know about the second one, but everybody knows the first one. So, keep on going. Summary of this work, and remember we're going to be talking about this book, right, in English, even though I read it in Spanish. I do recommend that people read it if you have the opportunity to read Spanish. The language he used is very, how would you say, florido. It's very extensive. It's eloquent. It's just beautiful. It's beautiful. And I have read the two of them now, and I can tell you that this is the one that I would recommend. But this one in English is really, really good. So, summary. 100 Years of Solitude is the history of the isolated town of Macondo. That's the name that they gave to the village, and of the family who founded it, the Buendias. So, during the first chapter, the one that we will be analyzing, because that's the one I give you the link for, it actually talks about how this village, this town, was founded by this family. And that is in the first 20 pages. And then in the second, from the 20th to the 35th page, it actually talks how the main character, who is Jose Arcadio Buendia, how he and his wife went to arrived at this place and were actually the founding fathers of this beautiful town called Macambo. They got there by accident. And so we're going to be talking about that in a little bit, but let's talk about a little bit more about the summary. So for years, the town has no contact with the outside world except for gypsies who occasionally visit, petting technologies like eyes and telescope. Gradually, the village loses its innocent, solitary state when it establishes contact with other towns in the region. Civil wars begin, bringing violence and death to peaceful Macondo, which previously had experienced neither. That is basically what this book is about. It tells you 100 years, like around 100 years of story of the village and the founders and the family that founded the village. Everything, all the secrets that happen within things that you want to know, things that you really don't want to know. It's very easy. So, one thing that I really like about the story, is it starts when the sons of the main character are older in the middle of a war, and it seems like the narrator of the story is the son, the oldest son of the main character, and it's really weird to keep track of them because they always use the same name. So the main character name is is Jose Arcadio Buendia, and then his eldest son is Jose Arcadio, and then his grandson is Jose Arcadio, but they just call him Arcadio. So, anyways, so it has seven lines, after him of Jose Arcadio, and they all marry within the family and have kids with, between them. So many of them end up with the same name. And his second son, his main character, his name is Aureliano, which is the name of the main character's father. And he also has kids that he names after, like Aureliano II, Aureliano III, and he keeps going on and on. The same, yeah. So to keep track of this family, it's really hard. The only thing that you can keep up with in the story is that it's the same family, it's the same characters in different situations and different circumstances within the family. And what else? Another main point is that the book itself jumps in time. It starts at the time when the son is in war, so he's old enough to go to war, and he is thinking about when he was young and his father took him to the circus to see the gypsies and all the stuff that they used to bring to town when he was little. And then goes back in time when his father was not even in the town yet. He was living in his previous village with his own parents. And that's exactly when that will be the chapter 2. That's exactly when the whole story begins. Because then you understand how they got to that place and they become this village, and then later on the town, and then later on they have all these different circumstances that happen to them because they get actually connected with some other towns in the vicinity. So here are the main characters. These are the ones that we actually going to talk about a little bit more because these are the main characters, the ones that play the most of the roles in the first half of the book probably. And then after that, everybody starts getting kids, and their kids having more kids, and that's when it's just a mess because you cannot remember who is who and who is the son of which, the first, the second, and then they have sons within marriage, and then they have sons they're not in marriage, so I don't know what they are, but they're still family because the main character says that they are family and they should live within the family. Yeah. So I guess that was okay. So let's start by the second chapter. The first one is just remember the first one. I believe that it's the son who's narrating is thinking. I remember when my dad. This is how I took it. That he narrated the story. But in the second chapter, it actually talks about the Jose Arcadio Buendia when he first left his own family to look for a new place. And I believe that that's what it gets interesting, how everything came to the beginning. Okay, so one that I'm not familiar with that. The story begins with Jose Arcadio Buendia, grandfather, made a deal with his wife's not quite back then, but her grandfather's also. So they came into business. They said, we're going to unite our forces and we're going to make something. We're going to create some business that we actually gave them some economic status. They were doing really well. And then these two families started having kids with each other. And somehow this new character, Jose Arcadio Buendia, was the age that he met his wife, Ursula. But Ursula and Jose Arcadio Buendia were more than boyfriend and girlfriend. They were cousins. So nobody wanted them to get married because there was a history in the past that some cousins got together. They were like very close, together in the family. But they got together, and due to that relationship, they had a baby that it was deformed. He was born with a tail like an iguana, and the poor kid grew up, virgin until the day he died because he never let a woman see him naked. So he never had intercourse with anybody. And then the day he actually wanted to, get rid of that tail, he went with a friend who chopped the tail off, and he bled to death, and he died. that's the story that's going around. So therefore, Ursula's mom says, you please don't marry your cousin because something horrible might happen to your kids. So she got this idea in her head. She loves Jose Arcadio Buendia. She really loves him, and he loves her. So they get married anyway. They have this beautiful wedding, little wedding, but beautiful wedding. She's happy. She's afraid. So for a whole year, they don't have intercourse. They don't actually consummate the marriage. She's afraid to get pregnant and to. So what they do is they just fool around every night. That's what they do. But in town, people start talking. He's just he can't. And Jose Arcadio Buendia is really good. How do you say that? La pelea de gallos. This is what he does. Él es un gallero. Yeah, that's what they do. Oh. Yeah, so that's what he does. And one night they're in the middle of these cockfights. He wins. His rooster wins the fight. And his opponent, I got his name right now, Prudencio Aguilar, something like that. He was very offended. He felt he was upset that he lost, and he makes that remarks. Well, now that the rooster has won, maybe he can go and make peace with your wife, or he will be able to go with your wife also. So Jose Arcadio Buendia gets really upset. He's really offended, and he said to the other guy, forgetting his name, he said, "Go to your house and prepare yourself, because I will come back and I'm going to kill you." So he goes back to his house and he grabs one of those lanzas. Spear, that big spear. Because he is big. He is a big guy. So he comes back with these spears. And right away he sees him, and the other guy didn't even prepare. And he throws that spear to him and he kills him. Everybody in town says, well, it was a fight. It was a legal fight because he asked him to go prepare. He didn't do it because he was the one who offended him. So he takes the spear off out of the this guy's body. He goes back to his house. He puts it on the floor, and he tells to his wife, "Get ready, because we are going to fornicate right now. Because nobody else is going to die in town because of you." And that's how they actually consume the marriage, because of that. Then after a while, the book says that they didn't sleep one, right? But after a while, months go by, and Ursula starts seeing the dead guy in the house. Everywhere. She was going to get water, she was washing something. The dead guy will appear to her, and she will go back to the house and say to her husband, he's out there. He's here for some reason. He needs something. And he doesn't believe. In the beginning, he doesn't believe her. He's like always subconscious that, that is just telling us that we're guilty of something. But one day he starts seeing the guy also, the dead guy. And then one day he understands that they have to leave town. They have to go away. Because, otherwise the guy is not going to leave him out. So what he does is takes his wife and some friends, and he tells them, let's go on an adventure. We're going to look for another place, and we're going to build us a town. And that's what they do. So he and another probably 4 couples, rich people, and the kids, they just one day they get everything they need, or everything they can, and they just start walking, God knows where, in the middle of the jungle. And after 2 years, and by then, of course, like this baby in the middle of the jungle, she gives birth to the first son, who they named Jose Arcadio. The line of Jose Arcadio just starts growing there. So they finally arrived to a river that is really, really beautiful and really peaceful. Because they were looking, in the beginning, they were looking for the ocean, but they couldn't find the ocean. So they find this river and they said, we are going to stop. It's beautiful. So he tells everybody what to do, chopping all the trees around it, and they, clear a good acre, and they start building. And in the beginning, his house was the most beautiful house. So everybody wanted to imitate that house. And at the end, when the story begins, it says that the Macambo has at least 20 houses. They all look like the Jose Arcadio's house. This was the model for the rest of the house. So that's how this Macambo village starts having habitants and kids and that's how it starts growing. That's how it comes to be a village. What else? So Ursula, oh, I like this. We're going to talk a little bit about the characters. So the patriarch of the family, José Arcadio Buendía, is impulsive and inquisitive. He remains a leader who is also deeply solitary, alienating himself from other men in his obsessive investigation into mysterious matters. These character traits are inherited by his descendants throughout the novel. Let's talk about him. In the beginning, when they start building the village and everything, he is actually very active. He helps everybody else how to do the agricultural work, and he builds a lot of stuff and laws, and this is how we're going to do it. There's not going to be enough fights because they get people in trouble. He's really clear about that, and he's always helping others in building the village. One day, the gypsies come to town, and he gets really, admired about everything that these guys bring. Like they bring ice, they bring things that he has never seen before. Magnets. That is the first thing that they bring, the magnets.
Flying carpet.
And suddenly, right there, he changes completely. He goes into one room and he starts studying and reading and elaborating things, and he creates, by the end of that year, a fully complex lab, laboratory, an alchemist laboratory. That's what it is. And he becomes really good friends with this Melquiades, who is a gypsy, but not only is a good friend of him, he's also very honest. The story says that José Arcadio Buendía never believed a gypsy to be honest, because they do cheat, they lie, they do. But on the contrary, Gabriel Garcia Marquez presents this gypsy as a very honest man. All he wanted was to help him out. And he does throughout the whole first and second chapter. That's what he does, because then he dies, and then José Arcadio Buendía cannot take the news that he died very well, and then he changes again. And then he becomes this really good parent that wants to take care of his kids and starts teaching them. One was the age of 14, and the one was 6. And then they start giving them education. He just keeps changing throughout the story. And then at the end, he goes crazy. But people do respect him. And Ursula, I wanted to talk about Ursula. Let's see. His older child, José Arcadio, inherits his vast physical strength. He is the oldest child. He is the main character of the second chapter. He grows up, and then he doesn't really say that he falls in love with this woman, Pilar, who helps out in the house, Ursula, to do the chores in the house. But it says that he has this sexual relationship with her, his actual first relationship with her. And in the story, he's presented like he's very impulsive, and he does things without thinking. So that has nothing to do with his parent, with his dad. They're nothing alike. The dad is more likely to be compared with the youngest one. So the oldest one learns that he's going to be a dad because he's sleeping with this woman. And when he learns that he's going to be a dad, he gets scared, looks like, and he runs away with the next circus, a group of gypsies who come to town. And then one day he just interesting. So, and then his younger child, Aureliano, inherits his intense enigmatic focus. Let's remember that he is the youngest one, and he is not really aware of what's going on. When his brother leaves, he's very young, probably like around 8 or 9, and he gets really close. He grows up very close with his father, learning everything. He's really, really interested in what he does. So that's why they do. Ursula, she is a woman that it's very, she believes that something bad is going to happen if you do this, something bad is going to happen if you do that. You better not, you soul everywhere, because, how do you say that? It's very superstitious. That's what she is. So she's nothing like the husband. The husband is more like into science. But she really loves him because she puts up with so many things that he does. He will go and get the money, and he doesn't do anything around the house. He doesn't do anything. He spends his days in a room doing God knows what, not helping around, and she works the whole day with the kids. They will go to the fields and then will take care of the plantains, all the herbs, everything that needs to be done. That's what she does. So she's always trying to keep the family together. She never says, I'm done with this. I don't want to know. She actually keeps the role of Ursula. I think it's very determined in this story. She always is, even though she accedes, to the decision that sometimes he wants, like he asks for money or things that he wants to do, and she will accede. But he's not really. He's never thinking about what she feels, how she reacts, what she believes. He only thinks about himself. He doesn't really even think about his kids until one day she actually tells him that he needs to stop doing craziness and start thinking about his kids because they're growing up like burros, like donkeys. And then he's looking to the window, he sees his kids playing, on the dirt with shoes or nothing. And then he realizes, I should be a good parent. And then he starts taking care of his kids. He is really something, but it's really interesting how these characters are portrayed in the story and how Gabriel Garcia Marquez presented the story with a lot of magical realism, I would say, because who in their right mind would believe they would have iguanas for children? But they do, right? And this is why they don't live together for a whole year. And then how they present 2 years, walking in the middle of nowhere just to find a place to live. Some of these terms, some of the places that he talks about just seems surreal. They're not, they're very abstract for us to understand. I wouldn't do that. And just one day just wake up because my wife is having visions of the dead guy, and then I will start having to just leave. Because somebody could die if we were to think about that. But that's what it is. So the rest of the book, that's the first and second chapter, analyzed by Alejandra. But the rest of the book, it is filled with more stories and more, I wanted to say, connections and disconnections about this family, about the feelings. They sometimes they sleep with each other, sometimes they marry with each other. But one day, civilization comes to them, and they discover that there's more, to the outside world. Gringos go to the town, and they have this big company, the plantains, and so they start experiencing violence, things that they were never aware of because they were so isolated. So maybe that is why I believe that this book is called Cien Años de Soledad, Years of Solitude, because this town was probably in solitude, isolated from the rest of the world for around 100 years. That will be the dad, the kids, and the grandkids. And then they have civil war, they have all these different things, and then even rain for 5 years that wouldn't stop. Again, it wouldn't happen in real life, but the story happens. And then after that, the town was going up really well and growing up and having new things coming to them. It starts going up. Everybody moves out, people start dying, and they fight with each other, they have all this trouble. And in my mind, this is what I believe that Gabriel Garcia Marquez wanted to say with this story, is that if we think about any isolated village in the world, where they don't have to worry about who says what on TV, because they don't have a TV, who killed who, because they don't really have time to want to kill anybody else, because they're trying so hard to survive every day and to put food on the table and taking care of their family, but they don't really have time to start thinking about, I want what he has. I can get it, because there's nothing that they have that I don't have, because they don't have anything, I don't have anything. And that's what was going on in the beginning. And then once everybody, the town started growing up, it's exactly what happens today in big cities. What happens is like Yakima 20 years ago, we had not that big population, and it's crazy. Now it's just going up, and with that comes violence, comes more, everything like
labor issue.
And I think that's what he wanted to portray. And at the end, like any big empire, they do to themselves. Everything that they do to themselves at the end is what causes all the whatever goes up goes down. But I think they did it to themselves at the end. They couldn't. That's what he wanted. I think that the main character of the story, again, Jose Arcadio Buendia, what he wanted was to be isolated, to get away from whatever it is that was haunting him in this town. But in the process, when he got there, he discovered that there was an amazing world there. He always wanted it. He always dreamed about it. His imagination in his sleep. And at the end, when they actually had it, it wasn't what he expected. And everything that he built in the beginning, he wanted it. The end. That is, we were supposed to, for the class, we were supposed to talk about an article that will talk about this story of the book. And I found this really good book that it doesn't really talk about this specific story, but it talks about his works. And it is a book that is called Conversations with Gabriel Garcia Marquez. And it has tons of interviews that the guy had when he was alive, just alive. And the one that I like the most is almost at the very end of the book. And if you guys have the opportunity to read it, it's really good. And this one says, showers of flowers, levitating trees, rainstorms the last 5 years. The books of Gabriel Garcia Marquez are filled with unlikely events. As we all know, that magical things. What else? He spent a half day during this interview with students at Georgetown and appeared last night at the American Film Institute to launch a small festival of films. It doesn't sound like much, but the fact that a fan could actually buy a ticket and see Garcia Marquez in person is just about unprecedented in this country. Everybody wants him, so he says not to all. Except this week, maybe he's just glorying in his survival. 5 years ago, he had a malignant tumor in his thorax and morbid thoughts of insult. But there has been no recurrence of it. He's positively cheaper. He says, young people always think they all are going to die in a minute. He says, they don't know the youth mortality is much higher. It's amazing. No, that was really good. Yeah. So as always, Garcia Marquez is worried about how he's quoted. With good reason, for at least a decade, nearly every utterance by the writer has been widely circulated by the unattended media. Usually, he says, take the second-hand statement, reported in March by Wilson and others, that he was disgusted with his homeland. Supposedly, Garcia Marquez was going into exile until President Ernesto Samper, whose term has been dogged by accusation his election was partly by drug money left office in August 1998. Supposedly, that's why he was having issues with